Well, we were going to start off with bonus bets today.
No,
and you
so
said that there was 2 topics.
There's 2 topics that keep popping up in our comment section, especially from people who kind of clearly don't know what match betting is. The main topics are, firstly, how do people get bonus bets? So a lot of people just think that you get a bonus bet. The only way is through losing a bet on a horse, which comes second or third, right? That's incorrect, obviously. There's way more ways to get bonus bets. Now, some of those ways, do you guys want to list them?
Offers.
So that could be either redeposit offer or a new deposit offer from a bookie. Now, they're not allowed to advertise them anymore publicly before you sign up, but once you do sign up...
I think they still do publicly advertise them, though.
Yeah, but they use loopholes. They're not supposed to incentivize you, hey, Tom, sign up here, we'll give you $100. It's like, okay, you've just signed up, we'll match your first deposit. That's fine.
Yeah.
So behind the wall of signing up. Another way might be through like same game multi bonus backs. Again, people assume you lost the money there. I'm trying to think.
There's other ones where it's like, if your NBA team leads at 3/4 time and they lose $50 back in bonus cash or whatever.
Well, Unibet have the second chance. Bet365 have the second chance on horses. Sometimes you just get like a loyalty bonus or whatever. But
so a lot of people think that one, you have to lose. Firstly, I just want to say that you can get bonus bets with really small losses. So you could lose like $2 and get a $50 bonus bet if you learn how to do things. So that's something that people would start thinking, well, hang on, if I don't lose 50 and I've now only lost 2 or 5, then I can turn my bonus over for $35 or $40, and now I'm net positive $35 or $30. So now you haven't lost money, you've made money. So once you start understanding that stuff, which there are methods in Platinum Squad that teach it with horse racing, that you can kind of farm bonus bets to a degree. And there's also ways where you can do that with sport as well. But this intertwines with the other main thing that people say is that when you turn over a bonus bet, when we show those examples on our social media, like we've just made $35 or $31 from a bonus bet, but you're down
You've
$19
lost $50 to begin with to get the bonus bet.
Yeah, so you're down $19 still or whatever. You made a video which will be posted around the fact that you saving money by turning over your bonus bet and not gambling it is actually putting you net positive because you're saving $1, which means that you earn $1. And
I think there'd be people definitely in the wider community that really don't understand this concept, and it is a tricky concept, but I'd still think there'd be people even within our community that don't necessarily fully grasp this concept, particularly new members. This idea that if you put a $50 bonus or $50 cash down on a horse or something, the horse comes second or third, you then get a bonus bet back. You then turn over that bonus bet guaranteed for, let's just call it $35 for the sake of things. So you've outlaid 50, you've lost the 50, you've got a $50 bonus bet, you've then turned that back into $35. So you're net down $15. On that individual bet, you're down $15. However, in the long term, once everything plays out, once you have 100 or 1,000 iterations of this game, you have some you win, you profit, some you completely lose the whole $50, some you get these bonus bets and you turn it over. Cashing in and saving yourself $35 by turning that bonus bet over massively means you profit in the long term. It's hard to visualize this through words, but essentially you're just capping your downside. So investing, generally speaking, isn't about how much you can win. It's about how much you can not lose. Any single gambler can go and win a bet. We all know a gambler who's had big wins, and it's not the wins that is the reason that they're not profiting. It's because of all the other losses that's happening. If it's the iceberg, the tip of the iceberg is the wins, and everything that's happening under the water is the losses, and you don't see that. And so you just see the wins and everyone's like, I'm profiting, but reality is the iceberg is full of losses down below. And if we can cap those losses, which we do, we cap those losses by turning over a bonus bet into risk-free profit, then we are massively limiting our downside. Now, people will say, but what if the horse comes fourth or fifth or whatever and we don't get a bonus bet? Yes, that happens. And in that case, we cop the full downside. That's part of it. But for every time our horse comes second or third, and there's obviously other examples, I'm just using the horse coming second and third as an example. Every time that happens, we cap our downside by, we're saving 65, 70, 80% depending on the experience of our members. And that in the long term, it's huge.
That's actually the other one. A lot of people say, well, hang on, I can turn that over for 80, not 65. It's like, of course, that is taught through the Platinum Squad, through Betfair, and the members who are turning over at 80% average, they're not losing $15. They're losing
10.
10.
from a $50 bet.
On average, per $50 bonus bet return. So that's one thing. I guess the thing you touched on at the start of that big spiel there was like that. I would say the most profitable investors in the world don't win the most; they lose the least.
Correct.
And restriction of their losses means they win more. It's just a numbers game. It's plus and minus, and if you have less minus, you pluses inevitably go up.
Yeah, but like, and then that's the thing. It's like that's where literally $1 saved is $1 earned. You can have $10 in your bank account, and if you make $2 profit, yes, you're net 2. But if you instead of losing, that's probably a poor example. But instead of losing $10, you only lose $2. You've just saved $8 there, and that's as good as profiting $8. It's a bit.
Well, Tom used an example in the bankroll video that went out. He said, "What's the easiest way to build your bankroll?" Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, save money.
Yeah. So if you're spending $500 a week on beers, and if you don't spend $500, you spend $200. You're gaining $300 a week. You're earning money.
Well, the same thing. I was gonna chime in before when you're talking about like. So lots of people say like they're punting for fun, right? So that's boring. But at the end of the day, if you spend the same amount, you got $100 to punt, right? And you just consider that the bonuses don't exist. You have $100 to punt for fun. That's your budget. If you punt $100 and at the end of the day, you've got $70 worth of bonus bets left, you have a choice, right? You've already punted your money for fun that you decided was your budget. You can either turn that $70 into like $40 and put it back in your pocket, and then next week your $100 for fun is only $60 out of your pocket instead of $100, or you get caught up, you get swept up in it all, and then you gamble and lose all those bonuses, and then you go lose $100 again the next week. So it's, I don't know. I spoke about it. JP posted one of those old clips from one of our podcasts like 3 years ago. Like, I don't understand once you know that this exists. Like, once you know that you can cap your downside or make risk-free money from bonuses, however you get them, I just don't know why you wouldn't always do that.
Because what's the point of turning a $10 bonus bet into $7?
That there is why the bookies offer bonuses.
Yeah, of course.
We've done this 12% thing. They value a bonus at 12% loss for them. The bookie says, if I give out 10 grand worth of bonuses today on average, I'm going to lose $1,200. The bookie.
Yeah.
They assume the punter's going to win $1,200. This is a general wide variety of punters.
Yeah, because obviously some of those bonus bets that are placed are going to win.
Okay, but the act of them winning now encourages them to keep doing it. And if you're a match better, you can turn that over for 80% instead of 12.
But even I don't understand the argument like you're only getting the bonus bet because you lost. Like, firstly, we already like have debunked that that's completely false. But even if that was true, even if it was true, right? You only get the bonus bet when you lose money.
Yeah.
Why would you decide to lose 100% of the bonus bet when you can just lose like 25% of it?
Yeah.
Like, why would you choose that?
Because people have already, I don't know, I think people have already accepted that they've lost.
Well, I think,
I could win big. I don't know.
It's a combination of probably them not knowing that you actually can turn it over.
No, but
or they're just
people
hating.
Do know, but they're going like, but you already lost to get the bonus. So, okay, so are you going to lose again, or are you going to lose way less? Who's going to be better off in the long run?
But it's like people are like, well, what is a $10 bonus bet, $20 bonus bet even? It's like, well, $13 profit isn't going to do anything to me, but I could potentially win $1,000. It's like, what's that going to do?
That's it, because they're just looking at that.
Yeah, they're just looking at
one
that
occurrence.
One bet.
It's like, I lost 50, I turn over for 35, I've lost 15.
Yeah.
It's like, but do that 1,000 times, and let's just say a third of them are plus 35, and a third of them are minus 50, and a third of them win. The third of them that you turn over, that's all your profit versus all your losses. Literally. And it's like that difference that's a much better V gambler.
Yeah, which is explained in this video.
Yeah, and it's like once you, it's because you need to look at
gamble. At the end of the day, punters just want to gamble. They don't want to lock in profit. It comes down to they just want to gamble.
But they only want to gamble because they want to make money.
Of course,
they're not gambling because they're like, oh, I gambled $1,000 this week.
They want to make money. They want to make money now.
Yes.
So they want to make that $1,000 profit right now. They don't want to do it over $1,000 worth of bonus bets over a 3-month period.
Yeah. Do you reckon if you told them though that if they'd make like 15K in a year doing that, they would do it?
No. Some will.
I just don't think...
We do tell them that.
Yeah, but I don't think they know... I don't think they believe that.
Yeah, they probably don't.
And if you gave them 15K and said you had to do it, I think they would do it, but they just potentially think it's too hard and then they don't actually believe that you will make 15K off it. Because not even about making 15K, saving 15K is making 15K.
Yeah.
Like, just you could do what you're doing right now and you're losing, right? But you just turn your bonus over.
Yeah.
You're going to be net positive. Like, just if you take one thing out of that, do that.
Yeah.
You don't even have to follow any of the shit we provide tips wise or anything like that.
But how do we know?
Turn your bonuses over.
Yeah, I know. How do we know the bet's not just going
But
to
match betting, like that's easier said than done because match betting for the average punter, let's say, not average person, I'd say average punter, is really hard because...
What, turning a bonus over?
Nah, the skill is easy, but it's patience, it's
Yeah,
discipline, it's control, and those are all the things that anybody that's losing on the punt doesn't have, unfortunately.
Yeah, but...
So they look at that and go, even if that is true, I can't do that. Or I can't be bothered to do it. It's like, I can't be bothered.
But
and then it's like, so you can be bothered literally giving your money away.
Yeah, then lose then. That's fine. Lose.
Legit.
Just lose. Choose to lose.
But that's why
Choose
to lose.
that's why more people don't do it though. Because they look
Yeah.
at it and go, oh, I have 2 bets to save myself $4. Oh, I can't be bothered doing that.
So-
Like, that's so hard. That's so boring.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we sound like we're taking the piss out of him, but like,
No,
that's just how things happen. That's the mindset.
Of course it is.
And it's like almost laughed at that you're turning the bonus over. It's like, oh, you fucking
Yeah,
coward.
like they're like, oh, you must be fun at parties. And I'm like, dude, like, fuck me, bro. Like, you don't have any money to go to the party.
Yeah, Steve said,
Yeah, our parties are fun.
we don't have parties, but he said we'd have more money if we had parties.
Yeah, so we'd have,
More
But then
behind
he's
the
like,
bar.
nah, don't post that because it looks like we're fucking talking about how much money we have. But the point is,
yeah. But, yeah, we do. No, cut that out. That was stupid.
Steve,
No,
has,
but we
Steve
do.
has heaps.
we
I
do
don't.
because we
I
match
don't.
bet and we set up our lives for match betting. That's just the facts.
No.
But Steve does have heaps.
But one thing, back to what we were saying.
Oh,
the walls.
there's a guy in the comments on TikTok. He wanted to have an asset off with us.
An asset off.
Yeah, he wanted to compare assets. I'm like, mate, it's not going to change if I had 4 million or 1 million whether this works. It's not going to change the facts, unfortunately.
Stupid.
But yeah.
But going back to what I was saying, I think we need to
Steve
start
winner.
saying with gamblers, like with bonus bets, it's like if you choose, well, and we have said this in the past, if you choose to gamble your bonus bet, you are not losing nothing. And like we know this, but like a gambler doesn't see it. They see a bonus bet as a free hit. They see it as, oh, well, I've got a second chance, so therefore I may as well try and win big. Why would I turn over a $10 bonus bet into $7? Or let's do it a bit more drastically so people can actually visualize it easier. You got a $100 bonus bet. It's not a free hit. By choosing to gamble that and by choosing to risk that, you are putting $70 of your own money on that bet. Would you go and put $70 on 1,001 multi? No, you wouldn't. So why would you put a $100 bonus bet on it? That's exactly what you are doing. You can convert a $100 bonus bet into $70 risk-free. So therefore, by choosing to gamble a $100 bonus bet, you are choosing to gamble. You are passing up the opportunity of guaranteeing $70.
Choose
therefore,
to lose $70.
You're choosing to lose. No, you're choosing to risk because it might win. But if you're putting it on a 1,001 multi, who the fuck's putting a $70 on a 1,001 multi? Unfortunately, people probably do.
Well, it go back to like
average
10 to
punter,
1, 20 to 1 even. Like it's
Yeah.
the same thing. Like, but they'll say to that, but I could make like $500 from that.
Yeah, and that's what gamblers
Or-
see. Gamblers always see that I could make. They're not thinking about what's at the bottom end of the iceberg, what you could lose, and unfortunately, that's why they're losing in the long term.
Yeah. Well, you could make that, but just go and look at your last 2, 3, 5 years of betting history, and like history will say that you haven't been making that. So imagine if every time you did that.
Yeah, you could or you will make 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, but 99% of gamblers. I read this comment yesterday. 99% of gamblers give up before their next big win.
Yeah.
That was on a Tim Naki post.
But apparently people win and
People love
lose.
that.
Like some people in the DMs, they sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. That, like when you ask them their profit and loss, they're
Do you
oh yeah, I
profit?
win,
Yeah,
I win a
sometimes.
bit.
Yeah, I profit sometimes.
Profit
But
is,
that's a full-on like misunderstanding of
I know.
what profit is.
Dude,
bro,
yeah.
they don't know
Like, you
what
can't
profit is.
You can't profit sometimes.
No, it's a
Black
number
or
on a
white.
screen.
Yeah,
It
like,
is
it's
It's
yes
either
or
negative
no.
or positive.
It's a balance. Yeah.
Yeah, people think profit is just, oh yeah, I profit on the weekend, but I lost 10 times and I lost 100. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that also comes down to people having no fucking idea what their profit and loss is.
Yeah.
As in they don't check it.
Or
Yeah.
don't check it, can't understand their statement, don't want to know what it is.
Mm.
But they don't know. If you knew where you were at, you just wouldn't. We already discussed this.
Well, do you know how much you get paid?
Imagine if you. What do you mean? Like on my
But
pay slip.
Not
Imagine
you,
if you got
but like them, they would know how much they got paid. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just losing it now. So count it as a pay slip, but a negative. That's
Or
how
you
should look at it.
could just look at it like, yeah, I make $100,000 in a year, and I have $25,000 worth of living expenses. So like I should have $75,000 left over. What am I spending it all on? Punt. Legit, people just like punting the lights out, and they've like no idea what they're doing.
Well, we copped a lot of slack last week, and I had one of my old mates message me who's lost like I don't even know how much. I'm going to do a fucking interview with him. He's lost, I reckon, close to, I don't even know where to put a number. He's losing like, how much did you say in that voice message?
Oh, he said he's lost
Like
tens of
30K a month?
thousands over a weekend and stuff. Yeah,
Like he's
he'd have to have lost $500,000. I swear he said.
yeah, he's living
More.
paycheck to paycheck from the age of 18. Also drugs. And he basically said, like, he was saying we should, because people look at those videos and they see the bonus bets and they just don't care. That's what he said. He's like, they won't want to do that.
Yeah, he said for the average person, like making $7 from a $10 bonus bet's not gonna.
No.
Like that's not good. They're not gonna. It's not. Their ears aren't gonna prick up at that. But if you tell someone like,
Save their losses.
yeah, like oh, I was losing $20,000 a month for 5 years,
Yeah.
so I've lost $1 million.
Yeah.
And now these guys have showed me how to do this and walked me through this and coached me through this, and now I don't punt anymore.
Well, he said he was losing 30,000 a month and he's now losing 5.
Yeah.
And we haven't, like, he's never joined or anything. He's just watched a couple of videos. And then I've messaged him a few times and told him some pretty brutal things. I said, mate, like, you're going to, like, really hard stuff. Like, this guy's been really bad mental health and stuff. I've known him since primary school, but I haven't really seen him for 10 years. And he reached out. And then he sent a random voice message the other day. He's like, now I'll lose 5K a month.
But there will be people going now listening to that and going, oh, I don't lose $5,000 a month, so it doesn't matter.
That's
not
what he
to me.
said. He's like, he goes, they just look at it as, oh, I'm spending $15 here and there. It doesn't matter. But that's how he started. But now he's 25K net positive per month.
But surely every punter, like I would love to sit down with people like one-on-one and be like, you know, the people like are punting for fun or I can afford it or, you know, it's a recreational expense, whatever. Is there anything that ever comes up in their life where they're like, I don't have money to do this, or if I had a bit more money, I would do this, or if I had a bit more money, it would take pressure off this. And it's like, dude, that's your punting money that you're punting for fun that you're just like literally pissing away. And even if you can afford it, like you're not homeless, but you could be doing so many other things with it. Yeah. Like maybe you go to Europe every year, or maybe you get your kids some more Christmas presents, or whatever the fuck it might be. Like you get to take the missus out an extra one night a month. Like
You might be able to afford your heating in winter.
No, but like I didn't say that, did I?
No, that's in one of the outros. But like we could afford to lose heaps too.
Yeah, but
we choose not to lose.
What's the point of just losing it?
Nothing.
Like you can be doing so much more with it.
Short term. I don't know. They need a thrill in the short term.
Well, the other thing as well, Steve, we were saying we need to like show that people actually lose.
Yeah.
Because people don't believe that shit exists.
People get irritated at us.
Like that guy losing 30K a month.
But like,
that's
all
not,
these
that's
people
extreme.
just need to check their betting statements.
No, but like people don't believe that there's people losing money.
People think that we're not fun at parties because we're saying don't do multis because multis is the gateway to losing thousands and thousands of dollars. And everyone's like, that doesn't happen. Like people don't believe us that we have people in the DMs. So they're like, these guys are just fucking being drama queens for no reason.
Yeah.
They don't realize every day we're talking to people who are losing 500 a week, 1,000 a week, 5,000 a month,
$1 million
and the
in
rest.
their life.
Yeah, like, and obviously there's people that are super extreme.
But like even on the comments like of the Tim Naki, people think we're like going after Tim Naki and we're jealous of him and all that shit. We're just trying to explain to people that doing that behavior will lose money long term. But then they say to you, like we've said that behavior being posted on social media is going to make people gamble. If you don't believe that, you need to understand that people see that and want to do it. Like,
why else are they watching it?
But people don't know that happens. Because they watch it. Like if we watch that, we're not going to go to the casino, right? We do have no inkling to do that. And most people, maybe, I don't know, we'd say more than half people would not gamble because of that or less.
I'd say probably more.
Yeah, I would say that too. But then
I'd say there'd be 20% of people that watch that and be like, fuck, I'm going to do that. Maybe less, 10%.
But like you go in the comments and people say like, what casino was that? Where can I do this? Like just read the comments. So that exists. So that's indirectly causing people to gamble. Yeah, he's not saying gamble, of course. But if you fucking dangle it, like you said, with the heroin addict, if you dangle heroin, dangle, what are they going to do?
He's actually changed his tone, Tim, a little bit on his last couple of posts. He said, I'm not at all encouraging gambling.
Yeah, well...
And he actually, do you know, I saw something the other day as well. He said, I think it was on his most recent post, he said, it's actually really lucky that I hit, 8 of 10 winners in my first few hands. Because if that wouldn't have happened, I wouldn't be here. Because reality is, he wouldn't have any money to it. He's just hit...
we just said positive variance got him the right way.
He's just hit one of the luckiest runs of all time. And now that is going to encourage all these people, hey, you can do this too. But he has hit a ridiculous lucky run.
But he's not saying that. And that's where people say he's not encouraging.
He
but
sort of is a little bit now. That's what I'm sort of saying. He's changing his tone a little bit.
Yeah, but hang on, man. Like,
But yeah,
every
I
day
know.
for 75 days, I'm doing this and I've made this much money.
yeah.
Fuck. Like, what are people going to do like that don't think?
Yeah,
the average
100%.
human doesn't think about that stuff. The punting IQ of most people is fucking borderline zero.
People are desperate at the moment as well. You throw in the sort of the macro variables that are happening with costs of like rising inflation. Obviously, the gambling industry, no matter what, through recessions and everything, it continues to skyrocket because people are desperate. And all of a sudden, people see these videos of this guy having just completely flipped his life around. He probably will be financially free, providing he holds on to a lot of his profits for the rest of his life. People are seeing that and be like, oh, fuck it. I've got 1,500 to my name. I may as well try and do this too.
I'll do that.
But why? What I don't understand is why is that like seen as like he's a hero, he's a legend? Like why is it seen like that?
Because
but then you have a guy like Lenny, who's made who like comes on a podcast and says I've made 200 grand from match betting and I'm 19, and then the comments aren't like fuck he's a legend, he's a hero, that's so sick. It's what a fucking loser. He wouldn't be fun at parties. You can't do that. So like, first of all, you're not going to make $1 million from blackjack, but this guy's a hero. Yet this kid is doing something that anybody can do if they want to, but he's a fucking loser. He's not fun at parties. That's bullshit. You're not helping anyone. You're scamming people. Like, I don't understand.
Because there's no
I'll
risk.
tell you why.
What is that thought
Because
process?
they see us as charging the punters. That's why.
I see that too.
Because we run a business which they see that as taking someone's money.
But Lenny paid us $1,000 or $1,100, whatever it
To
was.
join Platinum.
But then he made $200,000.
Yeah, but
Pardon?
okay, we spoke to an 18-year-old the other day on the phone who's making a fuck ton amount of money match betting, right? He's not even a member yet. He'll join with Lenny. But like he said something that was pretty interesting at his age. And most people don't see this until they're maybe 25, 30. He's like, oh, the fee's this, but like I don't really care about the fee because I can see what it's going to do to help me. And I'm going to make like 10x what I would, like if I pay the fee, I'm going to make 10x that. So he already sees what's going to happen from paying the fee. But then you speak to other individuals
He doesn't see it as a fee.
and they like, oh, fuck. Like that's too much. I can't, like I don't want to pay that. I've got 20 grand to my name, but I don't want to pay 1,000 because I think I could do it myself. And it's like, you're not saving money, man. You're actually spending time and energy. And
But
this
they
guy-
are no, but you do save.
Then
You're
you
saving
end up-
money, but you
but then
end up
you-
so far behind.
Then you're losing
in the long run.
upside.
Yeah,
which
of
is
course.
money.
But like, yeah.
So, yeah, I think coming back to that, all they see is that we charge, so we are scammers or we are not helping you. When in reality, the whole world works based on you pay for what value you want. So you go for a haircut.
Yeah, like you could cut your hair yourself.
But like I'm gonna like somewhat counter that because even if he hadn't charged us, even if we hadn't charged him, even if he hadn't paid us anything, people would still react the exact same way.
Because they haven't seen the fucking dealer throw the money there and the cards fucking fuck your brain a bit with the psych behind gambling.
True.
And then
But I think it's because there's no risk.
that's the cool thing. Well,
There's no risk. People
Well,
are
yeah,
like,
that.
oh, what you made money with no risk?
yeah, like you're a
Fuck,
coward.
That's lame. Like I risked my whole life. I risked my
Yeah.
mortgage.
Yeah,
I'm
that's the-
cool. I'm a superhero. What did you do? You risked $50. Like that's I think more of the reason. People is like, well, if you didn't risk it all, then you're not a hero.
Yeah,
you're
you're
only
less
a
of a
hero.
man.
Yeah, you're only a man if you put your balls on the line and potentially risked ruining your whole life to make a substantial amount of money.
Well, that's that like wearing
you
your
go.
losses as a badge of honor. Like, you know, I
100%.
punted my paycheck away last week.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that is like full degeneracy.
It
like,
is.
in what world do you think
is
that
cool
that's
to
like
lose
cool
money.
or fun or like brute? Like, dude, so you
That
just
makes my
worked a
blood
whole
boil.
week for free,
Yeah.
and that's cool.
Yeah, it makes my blood boil.
Like, do you
Well,
want to
the-
have money? Do you want to be successful, or do you want to be this
The-
guy that like
yeah.
just
You wanna
does
be
that
cool.
for the rest of
Correct.
their life?
The best
Like,
part about all this is if you told them that what they're saying that is cool and fun and elite is you're paying the sports bet CEO and all the people there to have holidays. You're paying for their
we
holidays.
should vlog the
But
sports
most of
bet
them are
series
like,
holiday.
most of them, I would say most of people that feel that way are probably like young kids up until like mid 30s, and then people start to realize that maybe it isn't that cool.
Yeah.
But like, would you want your, like, and this is like thinking down the line, but like, if you're a dad or a mum, like, would you want your kid, like, if you're growing up being like, oh, this is sick, like, I'm so cool, like, I've punted my paycheck, like, are you going to tell your kid to do that?
No, of course not.
No, but it comes back to not thinking.
But at the same
They
time,
don't actually think about it. They just do it. I keep saying this, but
Yeah.
they don't think about
I think you're overestimating 35+ year olds. You're saying, oh yeah, they get to a certain age, they're like, oh no, I need to stop this. I think a lot of people don't.
Well, we were in that
necessarily.
Facebook group on the weekend. I added you to the chat.
Yeah.
For those of you listening,
I don't want to talk about
pretty hard to witness, to be honest.
Yeah. Show us your tips for this race. If you can't hit the win of this race, you're no good or whatever. Like.
No, it was like literally like if you don't give me a tip for this, like you have no balls.
Yeah.
No, that was literally the comment, and I was like, man, like.
Yeah. And all we wanted this guy, we just kept asking one question. What is your total profit and loss? Can you please tell us? I offered this guy, I will pay him $50 to answer the question. And he just couldn't. He simply could not answer what his total profit and loss is. He wouldn't know. Well, he wouldn't want to think about it. He wouldn't want to know. It's like it's so many people out there, like, and I've been a massive culprit of this as well. You have a big night, you go out, you pay entry, you get an Uber, you get a kebab, you spend who knows on drinks. You come home, another Uber, Max is on the way, someone spews in the cab, there's another $50. You wake up the next day and you're like, I'm not checking my account. I do not want to check my account. And
to be fair, I've done that.
Yeah, 100%. You just simply do. You wouldn't know, but like, I get it. And it's gambling would be the exact same. So
no, but yours would be, that's fully spot on. And that's gambling same. But yours would be like if you're on a holiday, you wouldn't know what you spent. You just don't check it. You don't want to know.
I just launch shit. Like if I want to fucking skydive out of a helicopter, I'm going next day. Like I've always done that.
Yeah, but that's good.
But that's my splurge.
But you can
or
do
Airbnb
that
fucking 1,400 in a night or something. Just I don't care.
Is I just launch shit.
I do. Like if there's Airbnb I want to stay at, it's like it's like $800. Oh, there's one here for 1,700 tonight. Fuck, that looks sick. Let's go there. It's just like that.
But like that's you put yourself in a position where that's your like. That's a pretty sick way to spend your money.
Yeah, but what if people said that like their splurge is like watching a horse race lose?
That's an excuse.
Do you reckon that's actually fun?
But that's what
for like baller individuals who own like
but that's fine. Honestly, I think that's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
But like you're not skydiving 3 times a week every weekend.
No.
Well, so then it's not. But this is if I'm like, okay, me and Steve have this one day on Melbourne Cup Day where we have 10 of our mates come around and we all put in like $30 and we bet $20 in every race, and that's what we do, and that's fucking fun as with all my mates. Cool, I get it. But dude, that's like you doing your skydiving, right? But you don't do it 3 times a week every week for the whole year. So then it's not fun. Like if that isn't your entertainment.
But that's where it comes down to bullshit. Like it's an escape. It's they need that weekly escape.
For what though?
Well, like, I mean, you could go down a number of reasons why people need that weekly escape, but it's like they want that short-term endorphin hit. They need that. They through like you being able to save your money and spend it on a skydive trip or go to bloody Iceland or whatever and spend a lot of money. That's because you've got a long-term mindset there. You're like, well, I don't need to go and hit the beers every Saturday night. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to grind hard now because I know that in 6 months' time or in 12 months' time, I'm going to be able to have a fucking holiday of a lifetime.
Well, personally,
gamblers, I don't think can think like that. They're like, no. I've got to Friday. I've worked hard. Now
I deserve it.
I deserve it. I deserve to have beers. I deserve to have a punt. They need a thrill. They need a rush to the brain, and then they just continuously get in that cycle. And it's like alcohol, it's drugs, it's betting, it's all the fucking stuff.
I'll tell you what's a rush to the brain. Making like money match betting.
Yeah, mate.
Because you do the exact same thing, but you make money. I'll tell you that for free because I've done both.
Yeah.
We all have.
Well, the young kids that are making like 100, 200, 300 grand for the year, bro, they live and breathe it. They literally can't stop like talking about it.
Bro, it's way more of a rush, and it's a bit dangerous that we talk about it this way, but it is for me.
Well, we're not, yeah.
No, it's not a rush, dude. It's like success and like
I guess
you're working, you're fucking busting your balls,
well, at the end of the day,
you're seeing the rewards for that.
And you're like, fuck, you just see the spreadsheet.
And then you're like, well, why don't I just fucking double down? Why don't I go harder? Why don't I work more at this? Like,
well, a lot of the time though, when people are trying to bet or place bets, if there was no one else in the world that existed, I don't reckon they'd place the bets. Because honestly, I think you want to show your mates when you win. So, do you agree with that?
I sort of do, yeah. Because
when you win a bet, right? When you got to do a multi, when people are winning a fucking 15-legger, Tom's like 15 minutes late for his haircut. When you do like a 15-legger, right, and it wins, if there was no one else to show it to, I guarantee you it's not the same. So you're only doing it for ego. And obviously you want to make money, but a lot of the people doing it for ego, they want to show, oh, fuck yeah, I posted this. Like, I'm going to show this to my mates. So if you're doing it for that, it's like, well, we can use that same ego if you want to call it that, of beating the bookies and being like, fuck you, you ruin lives, you beat everyone, but I just beat you.
But not
for
even
me,
that, bro.
For me personally, I felt that when I
Yeah,
was match
fair.
betting. It's like, fuck you, sports bet, I fucking took you to the cleaners. And then you still don't care.
But
So-
you can still have that, like, if the ego is the thing that's fueling you, you can still have it because you can be like, oh, lads, I made $1,000 this month and you guys are down.
Well, exactly.
And then the next month I made 1,500, you guys are still down.
They would hate that.
End of the year, I've made 20
Didn't
grand.
you do that with your?
Of course, man.
Yeah.
I've done that with my mates for like 5 years. Like, why are you not doing this?
But now it's not ego for you. You've kind
No,
of
it's
just been
not
like,
ego, but it definitely used to be because
Yeah,
I'd
for
be
me
like,
it was.
bro, like, because they would be like, oh, it's fucking boring, or like they would say that, oh, it's a boring, like, who gives a fuck? And I'd be like, bro, because like I've made 70 grand this year, or like I've just made 100 grand with JP in 3 months, and you're telling me that what you're doing is fun and what I'm doing is boring, and I'm like, I'm telling you that you've got it wrong. Like, you've actually got it wrong.
Do we have fun?
And now, yeah, but it's still, yeah, we did. Of course we had fun. And it's funny looking back on it now. But it's not like we were just sitting there, like, holding our dicks and laughing. Like, we're sitting in a room, like, going to work. Like, I fried at the end of those sessions. But, of course, it's fun.
That's at the extreme end. Like, we not everyone in our community is doing that. People are just doing it like...
Yeah, you
like,
got MM
like
Johns.
MM Johns
just
sitting
chilling.
around.
But it is
doing-
fun. Like, having, like, being successful and making money and knowing that it's working, it's, like, it drives you and motivates you to do more and more and more. And you just kind of, like, chase being successful. Like, chase making money. Like... It is addictive in a sense that, like, the reason that those people are gambling, you can still get that feeling of, like, satisfaction and achievement and see the money that you're making from doing this.
I got a bit of a curveball question. Do you think that obviously we are very money driven, not money driven, but we do like, you know, like making money, and we're all like, we're in a position now where we've got our own business. Like we like finding, different ways, not typical ways to make money. We're very like, without sounding like we're idiots, we're good at making money to some degree, right? Do you reckon people share, and we like doing it, we all like doing it at the same time. We like the game of business, we like the game of match betting, we like the game of investing, we like that shit.
It's not work, it's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. Do you think that, like, for people out there, they're just like, nah, like they don't share the same desire?
For sure.
But do you reckon they actually don't like it, or it's just they don't know how to?
Both.
And so therefore, like, if you were to say, hey mate, this is a 5-step process for you to make money, everyone would go, oh, all right, yeah, I like it all of a sudden. But now, because this is a little bit complex and it requires them to put in the time and effort, they're like, no, I don't think, man, I'm happy with where I am. Like, do you know the sort of question
Well,
I'm asking?
it's like there is a 5-step process to being really strong and having muscle and stuff. But why do some people fat?
Yeah, and then, but like, are they just using the excuse of like, I don't want a ripped body, but deep down they actually do, they just can't be asked actually getting it?
Well, some people say they actually enjoy being fat, for example.
Yeah.
Tom, do you believe that?
But like, do you believe that? That's
Not sure.
I'm not
But,
sure.
like, in terms of Steve's question, like
the same
It's
principle.
the same concept.
the
Yeah.
desire, right? Like, I would say that they maybe look at us being passionate about making money or growing this business or like match betting and think that they're not passionate about that, and that's fine. But like,
But would
you
they
don't-
be if they actually like
maybe,
just put in
but
the
they
time
might
and
not be
effort?
passionate about match betting. But like, match betting isn't the only way that you can make money. Like,
Mm.
are they passionate? Like, if they wake up on Monday and they're like, oh fuck, I have to go to work. They're not passionate about
Mm. Yeah,
that
but they
either.
do
But they're
that.
still doing
Yeah.
that. So like, if you're still doing that and you're not passionate about it, but you could be doing this as well, and maybe you're not passionate about it, but the thing that JP explained really well in his video when he spoke about making 300 grand is that it's not about the figure. It's not about the money itself. It's about what it allows you to do after you have it. So these people that don't like what they're doing Monday to Friday and then go and do what you said, the release, they gamble, they punt, they drink beers, they do whatever. They spend, heaps of their discretionary money. They're just in a cycle where they have to do the same thing again Monday to Friday in order to be able to do that thing on Saturday and Sunday, right? Whereas if they didn't do the thing on Saturday and Sunday for a while and either worked on themselves or made money on the Saturday and Sunday, which is 104 days of a year, which JP loves that one. Like, on the weekend, if you just don't go backwards, even if you just hold your ground, you don't go backwards for 104 days of the year, which is like 30% of the year, like, you eventually get ahead. And then if you have more money or you save more money, which we spoke about, it's the easiest way to build your bankroll or to get ahead right now is to save money or to do something to make more money. So if you don't do anything to harm yourself, you don't do anything to harm your bank account, and then you actually, on top of that, add something that benefits you and benefits your bank account, you're only like a year, 2 years away from being like in an astronomically different position to where you are right now. But that's the thing, right? Like, because it doesn't happen overnight, it's just easier to stay in that
You're
cycle
on the hamster wheel
forever and ever and ever, and you can stay in it, or you're just like, fuck, all right, I'm going to have a fucking crack. I'm going to commit to myself. I'm going to do this. I might not like it, but guess what? I'm not going to be going minus $300 every single weekend. And I might actually start going plus $100, make $400 every week difference for a year. That's 20 grand. Do that again next year and double it. That's 40 grand. Now I've got 60 grand at my disposal. Maybe I have a crack at that business, or maybe I have a crack at moving overseas or doing, but like, unless you actually do it, you never know what you're missing out on. And that's the hardest thing for people. Like, you don't know what's going to work, and you don't know what you're missing out on. So maybe I just keep doing this.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we sometimes like say like, oh, this guy, like, he's doing this, he's got $100 to his name, sort of thing. He's been doing that for 10 years. Like, does he know any better? Is he happy? If he's happy, then is it bad? Is it ignorance?
No, like, definitely not. If they're
bliss ignorance,
you can find like true happiness in heaps of different things. Like, there would be people that 100% don't. Like, they like making their 50 to 80 grand a year. They spend every night with their kids. They spend the weekend with their kids. Like, they might not be, and they love it. They fucking love it. And that's sick. But it's for all the people that are in that position where they're like, I fucking hate this. I don't want to go to work on Monday. Like, I fucking hate being hungover. Like, why am I doing this? Like, those are the kind of people that it's like, dude, you're so close to just fucking, you need to make one change, and then you make another positive one, and you just let it compound. But it's hard to make the first one.
Well, look at like Big Bear in the community. Yeah. Big Mike. Was it 157 kilos? Yeah. In Feb, and he was literally sooking, like full on sooking, and then he's lost like how many? I didn't see the weight.
I didn't see either.
It was 23, 24 maybe.
Yeah, like 2 months.
But there's heaps of guys in our community doing
How about the email we received the other day? We haven't posted about it.
Yeah, unbelievable.
260 kilos?
Yeah.
Into what? I think he had a stroke. He was fucking nearly died.
He's under 200 kgs, I'm pretty sure. But he wants to get down to like, he wants to lose like another 70 or something.
Shout out to
But dude, Dave, Platinum Pete will say the same thing. He's done the same thing. Like, there's heaps of guys that have done that. King Cripper has done the same thing, and he posted about it. Like, once you make these small changes, you build like belief in yourself, and you're like, I am better than this, or like, I am a weapon and I can do this, and then you just keep doing it.
Said to Big Bear, he's like, I said, I reckon you've now passed the point of like no return. Like, you've passed that. It's like once, like, for example,
he's got results as well, so he can visualize the difference now. It takes a while to see results. He's luckily seen them pretty quickly.
Yeah, if you make like 20K, let's say in 12 months match betting, you're probably not going to think about betting again ever the same. That's 100% of people are not going to think the same way, right? They're not going to then just willingly throw away money anymore because they consciously know that they were able to make 20K over a 12-month period. So you're not going to look at things the same way. Your whole brain changes.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing as like when you drink beers every single Friday, Saturday, and then you have a few weekends where you don't do it, and then you're like, fuck, you know what? Like, I probably don't have to do this all that often. Not only that, like, man, I'm flying through these weeks, or like, I'm just crushing shit on the weekend because I haven't had these beers that I thought I had to have every single weekend. So like, it's all the same thing.
But like, what I'm trying to point out is that, like, the mindset that comes out of that, like you just said, then forget about match betting. Look at like your
anything
your health,
that you thought was
harder.
Life, yeah, like correct. Everything else becomes easier.
Your money, like everything, just stress level, like all this shit plus.
Well, and every positive decision and choice you make, you just take a step closer and closer and closer to those things that you thought were so far away. And by the time you make 10, 15, 20 positive decisions, this thing was all the way over here, but you're already here now. And then you're like, fuck, I can taste this.
But you've got to be able, this is the thing, you've got to be able to see this 20th step.
Correct.
People can't see that 20th step. So they're taking these tiny little steps.
But and they get to like step 6 and they're like, oh, 20's still so far away.
Well, they still don't even see it. Yeah. But if they get to step 6 and they've lost 10 kilos, or they've stopped losing on the punt, or they're, all of a sudden they're concentrating really well at work because they're not drinking beers for those 6 weekends or something, then they're getting positive validation that, yes, this is working. And yes, if this has happened over 6 weeks, imagine what it will be in 20 more weeks. However, for people, for some things in life, for a lot of things in life, you don't see results in the first week, in the first 2 months, in the first 6 months, depending on what you're doing. And generally speaking, the greater the reward is, the longer that initial phase of validated results takes, essentially, right? So if you can't visualize what's going on in the long term, then you just give up. So it's like really being able, and this is one thing that match betting has like really like I guess visualized to me how much of a benefit it has in every other element of life is thinking long term. That's why I think like I'm not taking credit at all. We're not taking credit for these guys who are losing weight, but it's all the same thinking. It's all the same thought process. It's all I'm thinking long term. And Hormozy sums it up so well, which I think is awesome. He's like, being able to be patient is actually the greediest thing that you can do. He's like, the longer that you are patient for, the
delay
longer
gratification.
The longer that you delay your gratification for, it's actually meaning that you are a greedier person, which is like a weird way of looking at it. He's like, if you want to be the greediest person in the world, then just do not be greedy for as long as possible, which is essentially, and it's like that. I don't know.
We do that in our business to a degree. Like we restrict things. I don't know. You might say like only letting 150 people into the sports system and stuff like that. Like it allows us to then focus on those members and then build them into better weapons, and then they are going to be the best members of our community. So in a sense, I don't know, you could say that we're being more greedy in that 100%. Sense, but like our business end up going to make more money. It may have made more money in the short term by us, I don't know, launching some quick fix product, but then it cooks us in the long term because our reputation 100%. Gets ruined. Whereas now in 4 years' time, 5 years' time, we're going to be like, people are going to respect us and trust us more, and then you pay dividends then. Yeah. So it's like, that's just how you build anything, really.
100%, anything. And it's like, it's the same process. It's the same mindset. It's all the same shit. To succeed in the game of life, it's very similar, in my opinion, to succeed in match betting. It's very similar skills and mindset required to succeed in the game of life. Just show up, keep getting the reps in, keep being disciplined, keep doing it. Of course, you need to be confident in what you're doing will work in long-term positive results. If you don't have that confidence, then you're going to lose faith. And I guess, you could say that's why people who try and build their own systems, they get 3 or 4 weeks in, they don't get results or something, and then they lose confidence. They start getting emotional, their structure loses, probably going off on topic. But if you're confident in what you're doing will work in the long term, just keep doing it. Keep getting the reps in.
On that note, I'm going to leave you guys to it, because I'm 25 minutes late for my haircut.
Easy.
And they're livid, but I'll let you guys wrap this
There's
one up.
nothing else to talk about, really.
Well, I did want to finish on one thing, and it's probably a pretty sizable topic.
Yep.
We sort of touched on it at the start, and it's something I'm noticing pop up more and more, and it always has popped up, but I think it's popping up even more now because the match betting landscape. It's something Lenny and I talked about in a 15 minutes a couple of weeks ago. But it's this idea that once you get deposit offers, once you use the deposit offers, you are done.
Yeah,
and match betting is dead. And it's something, it's more, I'm seeing it more and more, and probably because of the content that we're putting out. But if I had to summarize, we started talking about it at the start of this podcast. If I had to sort of like try and, I'd be interested for members.
I'll read you a comment.
Yeah.
I did arbitrage betting about 8 years ago, got every bookie account that you can think of shut down in a matter of weeks. He basically thinks that's it. Yep. That was 8 years ago. Well, 8 years ago, there would have been fucking 12 bookies. Yeah. Now there's 100. So there's
that would have been $300 deposit offers and $500 deposit offers.
Yeah, so he would have made like 4K. But were we going to ask the members?
Well, I was going to ask the members. For people who aren't members, can you write in the comments what you think your breakdown of profit would be? So let us know how much profit you've made, and let us know what you think your breakdown, if you've got, or if you just have to estimate or guess for deposit offers. And we'll even include redeposit offers in there as well. If you had to break down your profit, say you've got 10 grand profit, 20% comes from deposit offers, redeposit offers, 80% comes from other promos out there. Whatever it is, that's probably roughly what I estimate most of the breakdowns.
What did Greeny say?
Greeny did, I think he said he'd made maybe 4 grand out of 50.
Nah, more. He was making like a stupid amount per fortnight.
From deposit offers?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. He was getting a lot. Okay, true. But he was mainly from redeposit offers. So maybe, actually, well, then in that case, I'm not going to include redeposit offers, just deposit offers. Because at the end of the day, redeposit offers
you're trying to prove the point.
Well, I'm just trying to show people that that deposit offers is literally the cherry on top when it comes to match betting.
Deposit offers is like...
It's just a little...
It's like entree.
Yeah, it's entree.
No, literally. It's like you get a taste of what you're about to...
You get a taste.
Like, it's like a 10-course meal. You get literally an entree. That's 1 out of 10.
What I see entrees as, what I see deposit offers as, is literally practice.
And it's proof that it works.
Yeah, proof and practice, and you're not even really trying to make money. And I'd say the members now coming in, most of their deposit offers profit are getting put back into account sustainability to begin with. They're making a little bit, but I'd say probably a lot of the new members would somewhat agree with me on that. And then they're making their money. Like, that's when they're 90%, 95, however much of that breakdown of profit is coming from other promos. So for people out there that are thinking, once I get deposit offers, I get this question every day in the DMs for the last 2 weeks. Once I've used the deposit offers, how do I make money? And this ties back to the expected value, and this ties back to what we were talking about at the start, and the sense that, you only get a deposit offer, or you only get a bonus bet because you've lost money because, anyway, a little bit off topic. But
no.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's ways to make money off other promotions.
Bro,
specials, offers.
That's where match betting begins.
That is match betting.
That is match betting.
You probably make, I don't know, 3,000 if you're lucky off deposit offers, sign-ups, and yet people are making
100 grand,
200, 300 a year.
300.
That's the other thing as well. A lot of people, and it would be good to get like Lenny on this podcast. I don't know if he's around, but he kind of like copped a bit of slack on TikTok the other day because he said that someone's like, the video went like semi-viral. Basically what we said in it, the guy said, bookie promos are far more scarce than they were 5 to 10 years ago. You're now lucky to make 10K a year off match betting. And Lenny's working with people making more than 30,000 a month. And the people in the comments just fully rinsed him for saying that because they simply don't believe it. And it's a hard concept to actually comprehend, to be honest. But there is a little formula that you can just apply, and for people who are smart out there will work this out. The formula that I've kind of, I don't know if you call it invented, but put together to help people think, it's like the longer you do match betting for, the more you make. Would you say that's a fair thing?
Sure.
Assuming that you still have accounts, now that is impacted by whether you can get more accounts or whatever, or whether you can sustain them for longer, that impacts time. The second factor is your average unit size. That is the biggest profit needle mover. And then you've got the third factor, which is efficiency. Efficiency covers like bonus bet turnover percentage. If you're turning over your bonus bet at 80%, 60%, 100%.
And the time taken to do that as well.
Yeah. And then also other methods. Are you making money through other methods outside of the horse system, outside of the sports system?
Yeah.
Whether you're just doing sign-up offers. But then the second factor, average unit size, where people don't understand, this average unit size can be 10 or it could be fucking 1,000.
Well, 1,000's probably...
But it could be.
It could be, you're right.
But the point is that second factor, if you sort of, that formula, that second factor is the one that people can't comprehend. So the people making 30,000 a month, that's the factor that they're hammering.
Well, I'm just going to go out straight up and say it. Those people were just like, they're just automatically assuming you're only using your own account.
Well, they're multiplying what they have done on their own accounts.
Yeah.
Because the only way to increase your average unit size, because you are limited by the promotions at $50 a pop mainly, the only way you can do that is by getting more accounts.
Yeah.
So
like, obviously
Lenny isn't teaching these people to go out there and get a zillion accounts as well, right?
No, yeah,
these people
but
are already doing that. And of course, if you're going to make that money, you need to be doing that. Like it's just common sense, right? Yeah. But I think people have that limiting belief sort of thing of like only using your own accounts, you can't make that. And they're spot on. You can't make 30,000 a month using your own accounts.
No, of course you can't.
probably can't make more than... I'd say 3,000 at the top. Yeah.
I mean, you could.
You could if you had really good accounts.
You could make 5,000 a month, but you're probably going to lose them in 3 or 4 months.
Correct. You could. But sustainably over a year, I'm saying.
Sustainably keeping your accounts alive, 2,000-3,000 per set of accounts. Yeah.
Yeah. And then people go out there and now try and do this themselves and stuff it up, which is fine if you want to do that. But obviously. But the point is, people don't believe that that's possible because they don't have the idea that can be multiplied.
Well, yeah, they've got the limiting belief that they don't think, I can use other accounts, which is funny because I think you get two types of people. You get people who just simply have never heard of this, like it's just such a foreign concept that you can use other accounts. And then you get the punters on Twitter who are all punters and they all full well know that people bet in other people's names.
Well,
and
they're doing
fully legal. Disclaimer, it is fully legal. There's been a court case where I think it was the bookies took some guy to court for betting in someone else's name. The bookies lost the case. It was in 2013, set the precedent. And every single pro punter in the world, I'm telling you, every single pro punter in the world bets in other people's names because they aren't allowed to bet in their own name.
Back to this formula.
Yeah.
A pro punter wants to make more money.
Correct.
They have to get it somehow.
Yeah.
They can't do time. They can't manipulate time because that's just time. Efficiency only has a cap on it. This doesn't have a cap on it.
Yeah.
So what are you going to try and improve? Probably the second factor.
Yeah, exactly right.
But after hearing you say that,
it's a bit of a taboo subject. Like even the pro punters, like they're ripping on us. They're like, like they're trying to get us to admit that people are using other people's accounts. They're trying to get us to admit it.
But we've had multiple podcasts where people have done that.
But they themselves do it.
Yeah. But the thing is, we aren't teaching that. We're not saying do that.
No.
We are saying here's the formula.
Yeah.
And use your imagination sort of thing. And then you're going to get the people out there who are smart enough, your Mayos, people who've been on our podcast that have started with $800, have worked out that they can make $500 a week with their own, and then they say, all right, well, okay, how do, like we did it. How have I made $300,000? Well, fucking didn't use my own accounts.
Yeah. Well, you did.
But like, well, yeah, I did at the start.
At the start, yeah.
But like people will then kind of not like that. But that's just the facts. We took an opportunity, take opportunities. Now there's a massive risk associated with that. If you don't know what you're doing, you will get your money stuck. And we discussed this last year.
Or your money stolen.
Yeah, people can take your money for sure. But like, there's a lot of shit that can go wrong if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And if you are someone who's like wanting to do that, I would recommend messaging us because we can sort of push you in the right direction to help you not make dumbass mistakes and to help you understand how the bookies operate in a way. But we're just simply relaying back information that we know from thousands of scenarios and evidence essentially. So bit of a
Anyway, I guess that's. I think we could probably sort of wrap it up. But the one thing I did want to finish on, sort of the start of where this conversation started, was deposit offers are literally the cherry on top.
Yeah,
they are the cherry on top. What we were talking about before, how you're saving money when you turn over a bonus bet risk-free, we utilize that edge. So that is an edge right there, and we utilize that with all of the other promos. Now think about it. One account, let's take one sports bet account. You sign up, you get one deposit offer. Once you've got the account fully set up, fully going, you then get horse promos every single Saturday, horse promos every single Wednesday, sport promos every single Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Anzac Day, pop-ups. Every single day of the week, just about, Sportsbet is offering a promotion. You get one deposit offer at the start of an account, and then you get infinite promos, providing you can keep them for however long you can keep them for. What do you think, providing we know how to use those promos throughout the week, midweek, where there is so many more promos than that one initial deposit offer, where do you think the majority of the profit's going to come from? Obviously from the majority of the promos, but people just simply don't know how to utilize those promos. They simply just see them as gambling, because if you lose, you're going to lose money on that individual bet. But with the edge that we get, that comes about from turning that bonus bet over into risk-free, which means we save dollars, which means in the long term we save money. Those promotions offer a ridiculous amount of opportunity out there. But obviously you need to understand how it works. You need to understand the maths behind it. You need to understand the methods. And that's what I'd say the rookies and these people who say, once you've used deposit offers, there's nothing available. That's wrong. You just need to learn what the opportunity is out there.
Maybe 5 years ago that was semi-valid because there wasn't as many promos.
Correct. The promos have definitely changed.
8 years ago.
100% they've changed,
yeah. Do we want to get to old mate in here or nah? Lenny? Too late?
Too late, I think.
Lenny, are you around? No.
I think we've been in here for almost an hour.
Nice 15 minutes this week. Yeah. I think this kind of podcast has been well overdue.
Yeah.
I'd love to have got Lenny in here, but that's all right. We can do another one.
Yeah.
There's plenty of shit we can talk about. But yeah, obviously you've asked the members to put in the comments what their total profit is, and then splitting that into just sign up offer profit if they have it.
Just what's your opinion on people who say that deposit offers are the only way you can match bet, and once you've used deposit offers, there's no profit available? Like, give us a breakdown of your profit and your opinion on that.
And then if you're someone who's just completely clueless and you're not a member currently, or you want to learn more, we do have a free course. That's your best place to start. Then obviously I would recommend booking a free call with either myself, Steve, or Tom. And if you have any questions, you can always DM our Instagram account or chuck them in the comments. We'll get back to you, or you can check out any of our other content as well. See you next time.
See you later.